Hi everyone, my name is Hallie Hill, and today we are going to be talking about humanitarian work with a specific emphasis on the importance and the need for it. So I would like to start by showing you a picture of some little friends of mine. The kids in this picture on the top left are kids from Tonga, and I was lucky enough to go on a short humanitarian trip to Tonga with my dad. I'll discuss with you more on that later, but right now from this picture, I would like you to notice the living conditions of these kids, which is in the bottom left corner. Most of us could never even imagine living like these kids do in this small tin shack that they call their home. I want you to take a look at all of the trash in their yard and imagine these adorable 3 little kids just running around without any shoes to protect their feet. Now, this is just one example of the need for humanitarian work, and it can be really easy, personally, I think, for us to forget that things like this are happening in the world, and we're not used to this because we're not surrounded by it every single day. There are so many conflicts that play into why a country or a city might need humanitarian aid. These can range anywhere from poverty, natural disasters, which is Tonga's situation, broken governments, shortages of resources, wars, and so many more reasons. These conflicts vary in all sorts of ways around the world. However, we, as America, can help these countries get back on their feet. Over 135 million people outside America are in need, and those are just situations that we are aware of. There's probably millions more that we don't even know of. Humanitarian work helps in so many different ways, and some of these ways are physically rebuilding communities, educating next generations, bringing people together, improving living conditions, and much more. The United States actually gives the most support and money to countries in need outside or out of any other country in the world. Moving on, my personal connection to humanitarian work. There is just an unbelievable amount of organizations in the United States, and they're all growing so fast and constantly finding new ways to help people across the world. Some of these organizations are HEFY, ILP, UNICEF, WFP, and IFRC. There are so many organizations, probably an endless amount, and there's constantly more being made. And I'm sure that you've heard a few on your own, but the one that I want to specifically talk to you about is HEFY. And HEFY stands for Humanitarian Experience for Youth, and that is the trip that I got to go on with my dad through this program, and it was about 2 weeks long, and our project was to build a small home for a family in Tonga. And the picture on this slide is the house that we built. That's the front of it. And it took us the whole 2 weeks to build, and we probably spent about 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, building it. And it was just for one family. There was about 6 people in that family. And this house was not very big, but it was amazing to see how grateful they were for this little house. And there were 19 kids, about ages 16 through 19 in our group, and then there were 4 adults, including my dad. And the bond that we made with that family and the locals in Tonga is unbelievable. And a lot of us have still stayed in touch since then over the past few years. And whether it's just like through social media and Facebook. And although the family that we built the house for was forever grateful for the help that they had, I feel like my life has definitely changed forever. And I feel like I was almost more impacted than they were. Now, I understand that not every single person will be able to get the chance or have the time or money to go on a humanitarian trip in their lifetime. It is a huge commitment, and as much as I would love for everyone to get to experience this, not everybody will, but there are still so many ways that we can be helping people and gaining friends across the world, even if it's just from our homes. And I'll give you a few examples. One would be to contact your local city offices for ideas. Sometimes they have lists of services or organizations who are always asking for help and always asking for donations. Another one would be to start a fundraiser to support a cause or an organization that you are passionate about. And another one, this one's my personal favorite, you can make blankets, dolls, or even survival kits for people across the world. These are especially great for countries going through natural disasters and things like that. Another one is look into going on a humanitarian trip of your own. Like I said before, it's not always easy, and a lot of people might not get the chance to go in their lifetime, but if the chance or the urge ever arises, I highly encourage you to look into it. And then the last one that I have is to look into virtual volunteer opportunities. And there's a wide range of these, but currently my mom is actually looking into teaching English over Zoom to Chinese kids in China. So look into things like that. Doesn't have to be too crazy, but summary, humanitarian work really does have countless benefits. Between saving lives or simply bringing people together, there are so many positive outcomes to helping people in need. I have seen the firsthand impacts of humanitarian work and these organizations in action, and the work is so rewarding and changes lives for the better. The picture on the left of this slide is the group that we met in Tonga. They were the local ward members in our area, and along with the kids that I went to Tonga with, and they were so welcoming, and like I said, we are still all friends and we're all Facebook buddies, so it's really cool to see how long those relationships can last. The emphasis that I want to leave with you today is that even from our homes, we can do so much to help our friends across the world. And with that being said, I'd like to extend a challenge for you. Every single person listening to this right now can do something to help. I invite you all to look into the impacts and the benefits that humanitarian work can bring to the world and can bring to yourself as well. I highly encourage you all to simply even educate yourselves a little bit more on this subject and discover what else you can do to make a difference. Thank you for your time.